Hello everybody, it is Pixie. I know I've been gone for a while. I have some pretty good excuses, so we're gonna talk about one of them today. I'm gonna start this with a big old trigger warning because this video I'm gonna be talking about death and losing pets and surgery and stuff, so if that kind of thing upsets you, you can sit this one out if you want. I just thought I would put that there because I know if I clicked on a video and this stuff was talked about now, I'd be out. It's been a really rough couple of weeks. I don't even know how to start this. One of my cats very nearly almost died. We have 3 beautiful cats. You guys probably know if you follow me. I love them more than most people that I've ever met, and my family is just so in love with them. It's crazy. Every time we see them, we smile, we laugh, we are one of those families where, like, the pets are so fucking important. And so Neko, our very first cat ever, very first pet that wasn't like a fish, we got him about 3 and a bit years ago. He's 3 years old. He's a seal bicolor ragdoll. We have purebred cats simply because A, we love them, they're all cats, and B, because my mom has allergies, and so we have to get like hypoallergenic cats, blah blah blah. Please don't argue about purebreds on this video. This is not what that's about. I was going through a really rough time well, like always, but basically grade 7 to 9 was very dangerous and a very scary time in my life, and I know it is for a lot of people. So my mom was talking to a friend, and I guess they were talking about me. I guess I'm her daughter, so that's okay. And she was like, you know what might help, Jillian? Why don't you get a cat? Why don't you just try a cat? Because this friend of my mom's, she had a ragdoll from the same breeder that we got Neko from. Anyway, basically this little baby cat, sweet furry chocolate boy, saved me, changed me, taught me so much, and we came so close to losing him in these past couple of weeks. So let's start the story. This is where it's gonna get sad, but he's alive. He's alive. I'll bring him in at the end of the video. He's upstairs getting spoon-fed by my mom. We realized that he wasn't really eating, and he's always been kind of like a chill, lazy cat. He's not like super duper playful like our other cats, but we realized he was being like extra lazy and very sad. Like it's hard to be like, that's a sad cat, because it's a cat and it has a cat face and it can't cry or anything. Anyway, so we took him to get checked out to make sure nothing was wrong, because we love our cats. And they told us, we went to like a little animal hospital, just like a little local, it was called Abogwit. I'll just call it Abogwit for ease. And this, I don't want this to be hating on any one hospital or whatever, but just the facts are the facts. Anyway, so we took him to Abogwit, and they told us that he had pancreatitis, which is common, apparently, can be fatal, which was horrifying. So we were like, whew, okay, we're gonna do everything we can. So we took him home, and we were just trying to get him to eat. They did an ultrasound and an x-ray, and everything looked fine. His kidneys looked fine, and they're like, oh, it's probably pancreatitis, it'll go away on its own. Fast forward a few days, it didn't go away on its own. He was very up and down, and he'd be like super lethargic, not eating, not doing anything. And then one day he'd get up and he'd eat, and he'd be purring and he'd be fine, and we're like, oh sweet, he's up and down, he'll be fine. It's a sign he's getting better. Surprise, it wasn't. So after a fearful amount of time of him not eating, and we realized he'd lost weight, he lost 2 pounds, which, when you're 13 pounds, is a lot. Imagine if you were sick and you lost 20 pounds in like a week. Like, a bit spooky, if I might say. So we ended up having to hospitalize him. We'd been giving him IV sub-Q fluids at home, so we had this like sad little cat IV that we would hook him up to like once every 24, 48 hours, and it would like pump fluids into him so he could stay hydrated because he wasn't fucking eating or drinking. Jesus Christ, Neko. His name is cat in Japanese, but we pronounce it wrong. We pronounce it like the name Neko, like Nico, but it's spelled Neko because it's the only thing my family could agree on. I know it's lame, but we love him. Just anyway, side note, his name is Cat, but pronounced wrong. So it wasn't enough. He still wasn't eating. He was still acting funny, so we took him back to Abequit, and we had to have him hospitalized. And he was at Abequit for, I think, 2 to 3 days in the hospital. And it's just a little hospital. It's a little standalone building. And he was the only cat there, which was nice because he doesn't really, he likes to be alone. He's literally me. We are the same person. Imagine me as a cat, like lazy, sooky, needs attention, likes to eat. We got them all down. We went to visit him like every day, me and my mom at least, just to check up on him so he doesn't feel alone or weird. And one day, I think it was the 3rd or 4th day, when we were visiting with him, one of the doctors came in and she was like, after today, we'll have done all we can do here in our hospital. We'll have done all we can do for him. And we're gonna send him home or give him back to you. And if he doesn't start eating and drinking on his own, you are probably gonna have to consider euthanasia. And that's not a word you want to hear coming from a doctor, especially when your cat is 3 years old. 3, and he was completely fine 2 weeks ago. So I almost fainted. I like full face flushed red, the room is spinning, and I just started sobbing, but I pretty much cried every time we went to visit him. They were used to it. My mom and I went home in the Jeep, sobbing. Just sobbing. Didn't really say much. We just drove home. It's just me and her in the car. Me in the passenger seat, just crying. Thinking we were gonna lose our cat. And like, it was a sadness I have never known. I have never had to deal with death to this degree. Like, my Nana passed a couple years ago, and that was really, really hard, but it was different, like, we'd seen it coming, and it was natural, and it was normal, and it wasn't easy, but it was okay. And Neko is 3 and my best friend. So that was a really hard night. So then we were met with a decision. We were saying, do we take him home and see if he'll start to eat and drink on his own, and see if maybe being home, maybe he was stressed out being somewhere so foreign, maybe all the car rides back and forth were freaking him out, maybe we'll just bring him home and see if he gets better. Or maybe we should take him straight to the big, it's called the vet college, but it's like super professional, all of the specialists, like people travel from different provinces to go to this place, like top notch. So we're like, do we get a referral or do we bring him home? If we hadn't if we had taken him home and not taken him to the vet college like we did, he probably would have died. Because what he had was not pancreatitis, at least that was not the main issue. What he had, which they learned via doing another ultrasound, question mark, I guess the first one didn't work or something, he had a blockage in his, I think, small intestine. He had like a foreign object that was making his stomach swell. So we didn't learn that like right away. We took him over, we left him, we said, please fix our cat. And then my mom and my brother went to visit him that night, after they did the x-ray. They were so fast and awesome there, oh my god. We dropped him off at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they went to visit at like 6 or 7 or something, and they were like, yeah, we're just gonna visit our cat, just make sure he's comfy and check on him and stuff. And I wasn't there, so this is my translation of the story. They go, and there's like a team, there's like a surgeon and the vet and like the students and stuff, and they're in this huge boardroom with like these big projections of the inside of our cat, and they're saying, okay, this is urgent. There's a blockage in his stomach. His stomach is 4 times the size it's supposed to be, and one of his intestines, the big one or the little one, is 2 times the size it's supposed to be. That would have been great to know. So they were saying, we need to do surgery as soon as we can. But the issue was, we can do it now, but he's dehydrated and he's weak and he might not make it through the surgery, so the surgery would be higher risk. Or we can do it in the morning, but his stomach is so huge it could rupture overnight and he could die. And even if we did the surgery in the morning, it was still incredibly high risk. So I was at rehearsal, like, crying periodically because I'm in Mary Poppins and it's friggin' 6 nights a week, which is also why I'm not uploading videos like I used to, because I have no free time. And I get this call from my mom explaining that our cat could die in the next 24 hours, or we could have him for like 13 years. That was at least kind of good news, because up until this point it's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks of constant worse news and not getting better, and we don't know what it is, and he's not eating and we can't explain it and what's happening. We just need him to decide to get better. And just this constant, like, not knowing what to do, like feeling so helpless. Anyway, and now all of a sudden, hey, we know what to do. He could still die. So that was a decision that they had to make, and they made the right one. Thank fucking God. So they decided to wait until the morning, because it was like his stomach could rupture overnight, but if we do the surgery now, he's gonna be so weak he might not make it, and like, how do we keep this cat alive? So I don't think I've ever had a worse sleep, thinking, like lying in this bed thinking, my cat could die in 5 minutes, my cat's stomach could explode in an hour, my cat could be dead right now when the vets could have just not called yet. They could be like pumping his little cat heart. Anyway, so that was not pleasant. And then in the morning, my mom and I sat together and just waited for the call. They did the surgery at about 10 o'clock in the morning. Nina's coming down the stairs. Hey, Bina. Hey! Hey, girl. I'm talking about your brother. Nina. 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 Hi, lady. So we waited and we waited, and my mom and I just sat side by side fairly silently in just a really surreal couple of hours. And with like 4 phones, like just waiting there. Waiting for one of them to ring, hoping it was soon so we'd know, but not so soon, meaning they couldn't finish the surgery because they lost him. So we got the call at around 1 o'clock, which was like concerningly late, but he was okay, he's fine, which was amazing. They removed the blockage. They found a mass around his stomach, which they were like, we need to check it out and make sure it's not a tumor, but it looks okay. That was fine. Thank you. So he stayed in the hospital for a couple more days, and then we were able to take him home. He started eating again on his own. He wasn't drinking because they were pumping him with fluids. He was so sad. I have pictures. He had a nasal tube for oxygen up a tiny little cat nostril, which was a sight to see. He had a feeding tube in his neck, which he ripped out overnight, which they were impressed by. So now he still has that, like, scar on his neck, which is unfortunate, because it was like leaking food, because like it wouldn't close up because he ripped it out, so it was kind of messed up. So like every time he would eat, like food would leak out because it was leading to his esophagus, and it was like really gross but really sad. Anyway, so he had that and the nose thing, and then he had like both arms shaved from when they did different IVs and like blood tests and the fluid thing, and then his whole tummy is shaved, and he has like a big bandage on it from the surgery. But he's okay, and he's alive, and now he's home with us, and he's cuddly and sweet and squeaky, and he freaks out whenever I shake the stroller because he wants to go for a walk, and he's okay. That's why I've been gone. That's why I've been gone, along with having laryngitis and strep throat, not at the same time, separate times, which is almost worse because that means I, like, extra can't make videos. But anyway, yay, celebration, he's okay, but Jesus Christ, that was, like, the most stressful situation of my entire life. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Sorry if this was a downer, but it turned out all totally fine in the end by some freaking miracle and the amazing work by the surgeons and the doctors at AVC and our strong little pupper. Strong little chocolate pup. You know, toughing it out. Being strong. Being sweet and squeaky. I love him. I'm gonna go get him. There's my boy. There's his foot on my face. He's alright. He's looking around. See, the world needs those big blue eyes. Yeah, they do. Happy ending. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry if this was a downer, but look, it's okay. I don't... Usually I'm like, let me know if this has happened to you, but like, that might be a sad question to ask. So let me know what your favorite kind of cat is. And I will see you guys next time. Oh, I have a screech. Okay. It's okay. Small price to pay. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye! By the way, my shirt is Starry Night with a cat on it. Oh boy. Oh, wow. It's a cat.